Hi everyone, it's Catherine here from Chaos Creates. Thanks for joining me on my channel today. I'm here to share with you a layout I'm creating for Confessions of a Paper Addict, and I'm using the Up to Snow Good cut file from the Etsy store. I'll leave links below to that cut file, but as you can see, I've cut this cut file on black cardstock and I have started with this base. I have taken this paper, this snow paper from the Hey Santa collection by Crate Paper, and I've trimmed it down a little bit and just mounted it on some black cardstock as well. So I'm going to go ahead here and just trace out the letters. So turning those letters around the wrong way on the back of the piece of paper and trimming that out so I can stick it to the cut file. I do this quite often. I think I've said this before on my channel. I do this quite often when I've got a large title cut file. This is the easiest way I find when backing this type of cut file. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some wet adhesive there and stick that U down, and I'll go ahead off camera and do the rest, but that's how I went about doing them. So this is how I was going to lay out my design, but I knew I wanted something else in the background. So I'm going to go ahead and take this acrylic paint by Vicki Boutin. This is in the Gunmetal color, and I'm just going to use a stiff brush, a large stiff brush, and just wipe it across the screen. This is a technique that I know Sue Plum uses a lot, and I love it. It just gave a little bit extra to that background, which is what I was looking for. So I'm just checking out where everything is, and it dries super quick. But I am just going to go ahead and wet it a little bit, add some water, and then do some splatters around the edges of that mixed media. So that is my background. I have, like I said before, I cut down that background, and I have actually stitched around with my sewing machine as well, just to let you know, just with some black thread. And now I'm taking this Ranger Stickles glitter gel, and I'm just putting it on that snowflake. I felt like it needed to stand out a little bit more. And yeah, so this is the Asteroid sort of color, I guess you'd call it, but it does have quite large glitter pieces. So it was a little bit tricky, but I do manage. I got a lot of glitter stuck on my fingers, but I do go ahead and get that on there. And that took a little bit to dry, but I just sort of, waited for it, put it off to the side. You can see my son's hand kind of coming into the screen there. He was trying to do something. Yeah, so I did go ahead and let that dry off screen. I have also mounted that title on a little bit of foam tape, and now I'm just adding to the title here. I'm going to write "You're up to snow good." So this photo of my son and this gorgeous penguin is taken at our local aquarium, and yeah, my son was just looking and taking it all in, and this penguin came right up to the window and just stared at him, and so I thought this title was quite appropriate. You're up to snow good, because that's the look he was giving Seb. Yeah, so sorry, I'm just straightening up those letters. As you can see, those letters are from Cocoa Vanilla Studio Awesome Collection. Can't remember the actual the actual letters there, but they're an older collection, but they're just essentially sort of a paper kind of alpha, and I'm just going to add the apostrophe in there for your. And then this layout's coming along, but I wasn't sure what to embellish with. I wanted to stick with these sort of blues and greys in color. So I'm just picking a few of the things out from the Legendary collection. That's the paper as well that I used to back that cut file. So I'm just going to go through the stickers and then the ephemera pieces and just try and embellish and make a couple of clusters around the page. I have these clear stickers, so they're all sort of in those colors. So I thought I'd add a little bit more. This is a little bit of a touch of mixed media as well. These clear stickers, sometimes I find a little bit difficult to use, but I do like to use them like this. Cocoa Vanilla Studio quite often do these sort of painterly pieces, and that to me is reasonably easy to use. And I just put it on the side of my photo there just to create a little bit more interest. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out this blue label, and that will become a place for me to do some journaling, or probably just put the date. I'm not a big journaler because all of my 12 by 12 layouts sit with my project life, so they're just extras to my project life. So I tend to do a lot of the journaling on my Project Life sort of spreads and not so much on my 12 by 12 layouts. So as you can see, I'm just taking this piece here and cutting it out to suit my needs. That circular piece was too big and I didn't really want the stars and the moon in there. I just wanted the mountains. The mountains I'm using because I felt like they went with the theme of the penguin kind of enclosure. There's lots of rocks and, you know, things for them to climb and sort of play on. So that's why I went with the mountains. So I am just taking this clear sticker and I'm going to make it into a banner to sit at the top there to add to that Stay Wild. And again, like you can see, I'm just going through and searching for some pieces to add. And I wasn't sure where to add because I had my photo on a slight angle. I wasn't sure exactly where I'd embellish, but I do end up with 3 sort of main clusters. So one at the top with that Stay Wild, and one down near the 2, and then one next to the photo. So I'm just looking through some of those word phrases are from the sticker sheet, and I am just looking through them to see what I can add. Again, I think I'm trying to find another mountain embellishment, and here's the one. So again, I'm cutting apart this die cut ephemera, and I'm making it what I need it to be. So I wanted the mountains. I didn't want the sun or any of the other pieces around it. I'll be able to use that explore sort of other piece, you know, on another layout. So I'd really encourage you to cut apart, you know, things and make them work for you. Sorry, that's off camera a little bit there, but I'm really happy with how that's coming along. I don't do a lot of embellishment on this layout. I do keep it pretty simple, but you know, the title does a lot. And yeah, I just felt like it didn't need overly much. So this clear sticker I had left on the backing sheet, so I'm just trying to take it off here, and I'll stick it on some white cardstock and trim it out just so that it's got that backing. And this word phrase there says wild thing. So while I'm cutting that out, I will let you know I've left links below to the Confessions of a Paper Addict Facebook group. It's a great group. Come and join if you haven't already. There's some great inspiration from the design team as well as all other members of the community there. So people share cut file layouts. They also share other scrapbooking layouts. So please come join there if you haven't already. And also I've left a link to this specific cut file. And I've given you a list of all the things that I've used in this layout as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and stick down these mountains, and I am just using a little bit of foam adhesive just to pop up the tops of those mountains. I wanted to give a little bit more dimension to those clusters because they're not, you know, there's not a lot to them. I'm just going to give them a little bit more dimension. So I've sort of got my 3 main clusters there, but I'm going to add some snowflakes here, these gold puffy snowflakes. So this is from the Hey Santa collection from Crepe Paper, and they're just beautiful. So I thought, what a better layout to put these on, because we don't have, you know, Christmas here in Melbourne is hot. So, you know, snowflakes aren't really something that I associate with Christmas. But yes, I wanted to add them to here so that it created a little bit more interest in those 3 clusters. And then I try and make that Let's Go work, but I couldn't get it to work. And I'm trying a few more phrase stickers, but again, could not get them to work. So I'm going to go ahead and add some, you know, sprinkles. So I'm going to add some enamel dots to each of those 3 areas, and I'm going to add 3 of those to each. And I don't know about you, but I find them really difficult to put down all the time. I do have to bring in my tweezers here just to get them on the page. They are quite sticky, but yes, I'm just using that sort of bluey greeny color in those 3 spots. And now I'm going to go ahead and add some Jen Hatfield gold glitter spray just to sprinkle around the page. I did have those sprinkles of that gunmetal color, but I wanted to add some more gold to tie in. And here I'm just going to add to these to this title here because I didn't think the yaw was standing out quite enough. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a little bit of white on the inside with a gel pen here. And then I think I'm about done. So thank you for joining me. I'll leave some close-ups at the end. Bye.